Hello and welcome to Language Savvy. Today I'm going to cover the most important and toughest part of reading, that is reading and writing fill in the blanks. Now in this next question, we're going to use 4 different strategies to solve it. So the first one is grammar, the second is use of collocations, third is the elimination strategy, and fourth is use of context. Now I will use and explain each of these strategies as we go on. So let's begin. In a sequence of bestsellers including The Language Instinct and How the Mind Works, Pinker has argued the traits of our mental, social, and emotional lives may have dash as evolutionary adaptations. So from the first line, we can see that Pinker is a writer, and in his book The Language Instinct and How the Mind Works, he talks about mental, social, and emotional lives and how it has something to do with evolution. Now coming back to our first question, we have 4 options: origin, originating, originate, and originated. So we have 4 different forms of the same word. Now to choose the correct form, we would need to look behind the fill-up. The word preceding our first fill-up is have. Now has, had, and have is always followed by the third form of the verb. So now when we look at our options, we know that we need to find the third form. Now the third form always has the letter ed or d at the end. So the correct answer is originated. Now I know that there are a lot of grammatical rules in English, but you don't need to learn each and every one of these rules. There are some specific rules that are mostly used in PTE, and you can find them on our website languagesavvy.com.au. Now coming back to the question, lives may have originated as evolutionary adaptations well suited to the lives our ancestors eked out on Pleistocene savanna. So sometimes it seems as if nothing is dash from being explained this way. So what he really means is that everything can be explained this way. So this is actually a double negative sentence, which makes it a positive sentence. So that being said, we can now say that convinced and prohibited cannot be used because they would turn the sentence negative. Now we are left with protected and immune. Now in this option, we will use a collocation. So first I will explain what collocations are. Now what is a collocation? Collocation is 2 or 3 words or 2 or more words that occur together or that are specifically used together. For example, fast food or take down. So here the correct answer is immune, and the collocation that is being used is to be immune from. So there are a lot of collocations, like hundreds and thousands of collocations, but once again, you don't need to learn each and every one for your Pearson's test of English preparation. You just need to learn a few that are occurring again and again in the PTE exams, and you can find them in our website. Now I will add the link to our website in the description so it is easier for you guys. So don't forget to visit our website. So sometimes it seems as if nothing is immune from being explained this way. So road rage, adultery, marriage, altruism, our tendency to reward senior executives with corner offices on the top floor, and the smaller number of women who became mechanical engineers all may have their dash in natural selection. Before looking at the options, let's just see what he's trying to say in the paragraph. So he is mentioning some problems like road rage, adultery, marriage, and so on. Now he's mentioning all these problems and he's saying that it has something to do with natural selection. Now let's come back to our options. So we are talking about problems. Now what do problems have? Do they have values? No, problems don't have values. Do they have demands? No, they don't have demands. Do they have needs? No, problems don't have needs. But what problems do have are roots. So the correct answer here is roots. So what he was trying to say is that problems like road rage and adultery and marriage and all these problems, they have their roots in natural selection. That is, they may have been caused by natural selection. So Pinker is saying that. So the correct answer is roots. So in this fill up, we use the elimination strategy. So what we did is we tried to use each and every option within the blank and try to make sense of it. And the only one that did make sense is roots. So all may have their roots in natural selection, Pinker claims. The controversial implications are obvious that men and women might dash in their inborn abilities at performing certain tasks. So before even reading the options, let's just see what he's trying to say. He's talking about men and women and their inborn abilities. Now we know that men and women are obviously different. Now what are inborn abilities? Inborn abilities are abilities we are born with. So men and women, we know, are born different. So let's look for a similar word to different in our options. Now we have 4 options: differ, interested, complicate and indulge. Now when we read our options, we didn't even need to go to the second one. The first one is differ, and it obviously is the right answer because we were looking for a word similar to different, and that is differ. Now here we used the context, what was being said in the paragraph, that men and women might dash in their inborn abilities. So we took a hint that we are talking about men and women and their inborn abilities, so they are obviously different. So we had to look for a similar word to different. So the fourth correct answer was differ. So men and women might differ in their inborn abilities at performing certain tasks. For example, or that parenting may have dash influence on personality. So once again we have 4 options: little, many, a few and few. Now influence is a non-countable thing. That means it cannot be counted in numbers. But few is always used to count countable things, things that can be counted in numbers. So we cannot use a few or few. So these two are eliminated. Now we are left with little and many. Now many is always used for a plural form. So if it was influences, we could have used many, but it's a singular form of influence. So we cannot use influence. So we are left with little, which is our correct answer. So the fifth correct answer was little. So for example, or that parenting may have little influence on personality. Now as I said, we would use 4 different strategies to solve this whole fill up, and we did. The first one was in the first fill in the blank, where we used the correct form, first and fifth, where we used grammar. The second one was the use of collocations, that is we used the collocation be immune from. The third one was solved by elimination strategy. We considered each and every one of the options, and the only one that made sense was roots. The fourth was solved by use of context, by understanding what is being said in the paragraph. And the fifth, as I said earlier, was solved with a little bit of grammatical rules. Now, to learn more of these tricks and rules, grammatical rules or collocations, or to develop your vocabulary specifically for PTE exams, you can visit our website languagesavvy.com.au. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can even reach out to us on our website languagesavvy.com.au. Post your questions or comments in the comment section below. Thank you.